You're listening to Mission to MACE podcast, brought to you by Yester Hyperware. Hello, friends. It's me, Siriwich Chinkan. Cabin crews, prepare for takeoff. Please take your seat and fasten your seatbelt. Enjoy. Today we are going to talk about managing in creative business EP04 branding. Let's talk about it. The words brand and branding are familiar with everyday life. Before the session, I have heard about the term branding and my comprehension was only about brand image and only from the brand consumer viewpoint. When I purchase a product, I recognize a brand logo, the quality of the item and its advertising. My experience through the advertisement and the use of product also brings an understanding of what can define the brand. It includes the price, the product, the communication and the experience. However, I couldn't explain the term of brand from the view of a creative economy practitioner. From the lesson, there are more elements to define the brand and the way to make use of a brand. It relates to a perception of customer's mind and the set of values that cooperates through the journey of the business. A brand can be a person, a country or even an idea. Brand communicates inner and outer directions of the business. Brand values can be added through the authenticity, replicability, reassurance, transformation of experience and differentiation. The core of brand values can also be described with brand mantra, which provides brand function, descriptive modifier and emotional modifier. I gained a wider understanding of brand definition I used to know. In the afternoon session workshop, I have to design a brand me poster showing how I differentiate myself from the competition and persuade an employer for the choosing. My target customer is the company that I want to work. Tomorrowland, the most famous festival organization company, is the first in my mind. I search for a job that relates to my background skill in design. Concept artist, illustrators is the role that can make a visual representation of an idea for support the 3D team in creating visual for stage, props, illustration for graphic team, fashion department. I'm looking for a job in a kind of graphic design. I applied the creative development process to the way of thinking. I finally came up with a simple symbol and a sentence that is easy to recognize and understand. It is also important to be aware of the self-branding to differentiate from others. My competitors are illustrators and graphic designer who have more graphic design basic skill in digital painting. In my work, I use dot as symbolic of idea and connecting it to create a picture as symbolic of illustrating skill from an idea to visual. As I qualify for a concept artist, so I represent my illustrate skill by using graphic design to purpose the target market. I applied the creative development process to the way of thinking. I finally came up with a simple symbol and a sentence that is easy to recognize and understand. It is also important to be aware of the self-branding to differentiate from others. When I explored about ARCA 1992, the value of brand equity, I learned an overview of brand equity structure which is important to apply to the creative economy. It is essential to know that brand equity contains 5 components including brand loyalty, brand awareness, perceived quality, brand associations and brand assets. Brand loyalty generates trade leverage, attracts new customers and reduces marketing cost. Brand awareness helps to generate more consideration of the brand and it is a signal of commitment between customers and the brand. Brand quality is a reason to buy that contains price, differentiation, channels and extensions. The brand association helps to process and retrieve information that affects the attitudes and feelings. Lastly, the other proprietary will give a brand competitive advantage. In my opinion, it is important to keep the brand equity in mind when directing a creative economy project. Thanks for joining us today on Mission to MACE podcast. Make sure to visit our website and follow us on social media. If you like this episode, please share it with your friends and family. Be sure to tune in for our next episode.